so I just slap it on like one area. Hello everybody! Am I gonna make this video? I want to do this video. I've psyched myself to do this video. I just finished editing a travel video. I'll put the card up here. It had 300 clips. It exported for 9 hours, and for some reason I'm still inspired to make a video. So that's why I'm seated here. I'm seated here because I want to make this video. Today we are getting into barely there makeup, and the reason I want to do this is because I always see natural makeup, and I also made my own video for natural makeup, card up here. But the thing is that natural makeup just means that your face is using products that are on the neutral side of things, you know what I mean? We're not really talking about like actual natural looking makeup. It's still caked on, there's still like 3 layers of foundation. It's still a lot of makeup. It's just that your eyeshadow is brown and your blush isn't wild and your lip color is nude. You know what I mean? Now, barely there makeup for me is like trying to appear your best with makeup without appearing as if you have makeup on. It's the kind of look that you want to get when you want to get your friends to say, "Oh, you look so great, you're such a natural beauty." But the truth is, it's just very, very, very finely applied makeup. What's changing are the kinds of products that we use and the techniques. The first thing you want to do is to be moisturized and like have a clean face, because it's very important for a barely there makeup look to have like a good base, and that's like without any product, a good, very soft moisturized base, and you'll see why based on the products that we are using. So before anything, I'm grabbing my Evian facial spray. This is just fancy water, but the reason why I'm doing this is because I put my moisturizer quite a bit ago, so I just want to add extra hydration onto my face before like moving on with the video. I swear it's just water, but it makes me feel like a goddess. So while that's drying down, I'm gonna talk you through the next part. The next part is a primer or a base before foundation that is radiating, that gives radiance, that gives luminosity. Now what I'm gonna use today is the Dirty Works Touch and Glow Radiance Cream, because I'm a cheap girl and I don't want to use a lot of my expensive products. But if you are loaded and you don't mind spending your money on some cash, then totally grab the MAC Strobe Cream Hydratant. It's really good. The reason why we're putting something that will make us look radiant and luminous is because another key factor of doing a barely there makeup look is that your skin has to look healthy. And part of looking healthy, or like a symptom, a way that we can tell that people's skin are healthy is by the glow. So we're adding a glow before we put our foundation. Now for foundation, we're not actually doing foundation. We are gonna go for a tinted UV protector. So it's like a tinted SPF, a tinted moisturizer kind of thing. The reason why we're not totally skipping on foundation is because we still need some kind of coverage, and we still need something that will even our skin tone. I'm just gonna use my hands to pat it on, and then I'm gonna use a blending sponge. So I just pat that on, and I'm grabbing my sponge and I'm gonna blend it out. The one that I just used is the Shiseido one. The reason why we're not doing a full coverage foundation is because we want the luminosity that we laid on with the primer to shine through. And if you put a full coverage foundation, then you're covering the luminosity. Like, really? We want to look glowy and healthy and like barely there, but like gorgeous. You know what I mean? I'm really taking my time buffing this out because it's really important that the patches are not seen and no part of the product is like clumping, else what's the point? It's not barely there, it's like an entire like blotch right there that everyone can see. Next, we're gonna go into concealer, and I'm using the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. Now, we can't skip on concealer because we already don't have that much coverage with the tinted moisturizer, so concealer is important. But make sure to just use it in the areas that you want to brighten and you want to conceal. Now usually, this is where I'd set my face with powder and then move on to the next parts of my look. But we will be using a couple more cream products. Now the reason why we're using cream products is because cream products have a tendency of looking more natural. They just sink into the skin. They just like sink into the pores, and like they just look more real. They make your makeup look less like makeup. So we are using the Glossier Cloud Paint. I keep forgetting the name. Cloud Paint in the shade Puff. And if you want to see my review about this, card right there. I'm going to like put some in my cheeks like that, and then I'm gonna grab like a huge brush like so and just like tap it on my cheek. Most people would be satisfied just using their fingers, but I feel like concentrating it in one part and then tapping it around with a brush makes it diffuse in a way that the pigment is not lost. I feel like if you just use your hands and like rub it in, the pigment somehow gets lost. So I just slap it on like one area, concentrated, and then I diffuse it out. Another thing that you need to do for natural makeup or barely there makeup is to slap some blush on the nose, because people don't just blush in the cheeks, you blush over your nose as well. Now that we're done with the blush, we're gonna go straight into highlight, because that is the next cream product that you should probably be using for barely there makeup. The thing with powdered highlights is that it can look a little streaky. I don't know if that's a thing. Like, do you notice that? I noticed that. Like, it either looks too streaky or it's just so obvious that it's highlight, that it's not a natural glow. It still looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. I love powdered highlight. I have a bunch. I only have one cream highlight, in fact, so I'm more of a powder highlight girl. But that's not the goal that we're trying to achieve right now. We're not trying to look extra wet. We're not trying to look high shine. We're trying to look beautiful in a way that almost looks like we don't have makeup on. So I'm just warming it a lot, and we're just gonna slap that on here. Another thing you want to put your highlight on to look extra natural is you bring it down a little bit. Yeah, do you see that? Like, it's a little more like diffused, and the glow covers a bigger area. It's not just the cheekbone, and that makes it look a lot more natural. And of course, we gotta hit the areas that light will hit, so the tip of your nose, this part right here, this part right here, hit that, hit this as well, and a little bit on your chin. And now you must be thinking, alright, you look like a glowy goddess, but also you haven't set your face yet. So what do? What happens now? You're just gonna get oily throughout the day. That won't stay. Well, my friends, grab some setting powder. I promise that your highlight won't get broken by this. We are gonna be using a brush, a big fluffy brush. Now we tap off like a lot, and just run it over the areas that you get oily in. Just a little bit, just tap it all over your face, just a little bit. And when you're done tapping that, like, remove all the excess, right? And then swipe it over your face, like, get rid of that powder, the excess powder. The next thing that we're going into is bronzer. So we're finally getting into some more normal kind of makeup. We're using a big brush because a smaller brush will make it look obvious, like, oh, she contoured, oh, she bronzed. But using a bigger brush helps the product diffuse a little more, so you have less control, but because you have less control, it looks more natural. Now the bronzing, the contouring is not over, because we are going to contour our eyes. We're not doing anything else. We are just going to contour our eyes. If you have a liquid or a cream product that you can do this with, that would be a lot better, but I don't. So I'm just using bronzer. Having the same tone or the same product as your eyeshadow and as your bronzer or contour will make the shadows of your face look more natural. If your eyeshadow is blue and then your contour is brown, obviously it's not natural. Although if you're a blue-skinned alien, then your contour and your eyeshadow should be blue to be natural, if that makes sense. The trick with looking like it's barely there is to just follow your crease. We're not putting shadow anywhere else but the crease. I laid it on with windshield wiper motions earlier, and now I'm buffing it out with circular motions. Using the same brush, dip back into your contour slash eyeshadow slash bronzer, and we're gonna hit like these parts of the nose. We definitely still need some eyebrow things going on, so I'm gonna hit it with the Sugar Arch Arrival Brow Definer. The key to natural eyebrows is to just fill in where things are missing. If you don't have sparse areas, just clean your eyebrows up with an eyebrow gel, and then take a seat back, while us unlucky human beings with sparse eyebrows have to put in a lot more work. For the rest of the eyes, I'm not gonna do eyeliner because I feel like that's a little too obvious for me, but I will use a mascara, and I'm using the ColourPop oh my gosh, BFF mascara. It's all gone. Like the text and the design and everything, it's all gone, but I swear this is the ColourPop one. And what I like to do to make sure that it's not too clumpy and it's just really lengthening and defining without looking like it's too much mascara is I take it out of the tube and I do this. I remove excess product by running the applicator on the tube. Alright, so another thing I'll be doing with my eyes is I'm going to apply eyeliner. And I know I said earlier that eyeliner is way too much, but I'm not putting black or brown eyeliner. I'm putting some white nude eyeliner, and I'm putting this in my waterline. So this is going right here to open my eyes up a little bit. Boom! Instant kawaii! Alright, so we're almost done, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I really love how barely there everything looks. Like, I'm gonna put a picture of my natural makeup video right here, and you can tell the difference. Like, that is natural makeup. This is barely there makeup, and we only need one last thing to complete this look. We are gonna go for a lip gloss by ColourPop called Champagne Mommy, and it's stunning. This is like my favorite lip gloss in the world. And I'm using lip gloss because you want your lips to look juicy and healthy. And as I said earlier, the way to make yourself look healthy is through like a glow, guys. A glow. Find like your My Lips But Better, but in lip gloss. So I just like hit it in the bottom, and then I do this. You know, the thing that beauty gurus never seem to do. I don't understand why they never do that. Like, they cover their entire lips and then they do like a little. It's very like subtle. It's very delicate, and I'm just like, here she is. This is what it looks like to be barely there. People won't know from afar. They just think that you're gorgeous. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below. If you want to see anything from me, any video you want me to do, leave it down below. If you want to know more about my social media handles, what was that? This the Twitter, this the Instagram, this the Twitch, because your girl games. I really like this look because it makes me feel good. You know, like you feel good and you don't feel over the top. And there are some situations where you just don't want to go over the top. But if going over the top every day is your thing, then by all means, girl, that's your thing. But I have like this makeup balance kind of life. And I love going over the top sometimes, and other times I like doing more neutral, natural, barely there kind of makeup looks, and this is it. I'll see you guys in my next video.